The opinions expressed by the interviewees on the Upfront and the Prophetic radio show and those providing comments are theirs alone and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Upfront and the Prophetic radio show or any employee thereof. Upfront and the Prophetic radio show is not responsible for the accuracy of any of the information supplied by the interviewees.
Bruce Kowalski, your weekly food ration has arrived. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days. Attention. Important announcement.
Dear residents of the quarantine facility number 89, great news. Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new drug, which has been developed by our research team. This drug is absolutely safe and will bring the end to the deadly virus we are all fighting together for the last several years. Those of you who chose to participate will get a significant social credit score boost. As the result, you will be relocated to a superior isolation facility, receive a higher universal basic income, and become eligible for an improved food ration. Should you choose to participate in the Nova Gene Labs clinical trials program, our specialist will visit you within the next few hours, make an injection, and will be daily monitoring your condition online. Your participation is very important to us and the rest of the world. Make a difference. Follow the science and make the right choice. Nova Gene Labs is not responsible for any side effects, injuries, or death followed after the injection. Sorry to hear that.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on Upfront in the Prophetic. It's such a blessing to have you here today. If this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Boy, do we have a broadcast for you today. But before we head on into that, I wanted to share our sponsor, Cardio Miracle. Thank you, Cardio Miracle. Love this stuff. actually changed my life when I had COVID. Actually brings forth the nitric oxide in your lungs and so forth. So it's an awesome product. I have the link below. And then we have our newest company. I love this company. Talk about mushrooms. Woohoo! Okay, not like your other mushrooms that are out there. You can check that link out below too. We have had phenomenal testimonies of those taking the product. Again, it is petclub247.com. And it's not just for pets, but your pets will love it because they have these cookies. I had one before. I had to taste it myself. And it was so good. It was so good. Another thing I wanted to mention to you too is our New Year's Gala. Oh, I hope that you all can make it. Last day to register is the 19th of course, December. We'll be staying at the Wyndham Hotel in Gettysburg. And to get your rooms there still are rooms, guys. Just hit option 3. If you wait for the registration line, what happens there is it goes to central registration. It doesn't go to the sales department directly at Wyndham. So for your room, just click on option 3 and you'll get the sales department right within Wyndham. And for your ticket, patriotsariseevent.com. Well, I'll tell you, our guest today is Craig Bong, and he has done extensive work. Basically, I like to call it a deep dive into, yes, King Charles. You better believe it. And boy, the information that he has found is quite shocking. Actually, a lot of that information is coming out, even on Facebook. You can find it on Facebook. It is COP28. And the agenda that they have is straight from the pit of hell. Now, they are determined to have all of what they have planned in regards to the climate, basically lockstep you in your home and that whole agenda. Well, I'll tell you, I serve the King of Kings, Yeshua HaMashiach, and he is all powerful and he is not done with America as well as the nations abroad. So what you're going to hear today is pretty shocking as well as quite scary. Okay. But I want you to remember throughout what you're going to hear that we serve King Jesus. That's right. And he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Absolutely. And know this, that he is not done with, what does the Bible say? The wealth of the wicked has been stored up for the righteous. That is ours. And that hasn't happened yet. Okay. How about the great harvest? That hasn't happened yet. All right. So what we've got to do, and as you hear this whole presentation, we need to pray. Okay. We need to pray because we know that Jesus is our only hope. And I believe that he has Donald J. Trump to be a part of this plan to wreck their plan. So let's dive in to what Craig Bong has found out in regards to this COP28 and their 7-point mandate and agenda. Oh, hey, how are you, Craig? And you know what? You do remind me of James Bond because of all the research that you've done out there. It's been phenomenal. We've been following your channel. And, this whole thing about King Charles is really bothersome. A lot of people look at him as, perhaps the Antichrist. Some think William, his son, is the Antichrist, and some have even mentioned Barack Obama. I don't know if he has anything to do with what's going on, but you have a lot of insight, and I want you to unpack what's been really going on with COP28. This started, when did it start? 28th of November?
It started the 30th of November,
Okay.
and it runs through December 12th at 11 a.m. Dubai time.
Okay, so you just found out some really critical information on the 7-year covenant, and they've actually released some of the information or all the information, didn't they?
Yes, and so so I'm going to go. So here's what we're going to. I'm going to do this document right here. So we have a new global climate deal that's coming on December 12th. It may be the signing ceremony may start on the 11th. And so 2023 is the end of the global stock take. And then from there, we have a 7-year sprint to 2030, and it runs until the first part of December of 2030, exactly 2,550 days from December 12th.
Wow.
Do you have so the next global stock take starts in 2028,
Okay.
and then that's a 2-year process and would finish December 5th of 2030.
Okay,
And
so for Craig, for those who don't understand what stock take is, what is that?
so a stock take is where the UN and their climate agenda takes stock or takes assessment of their Agenda 2030, their implementation of Agenda 2030.
Okay.
And so it's a progress report basically, and it happens every 5 years, but then there's 2-year stock take. So there's 5 years of implementation, 2-year stock take, 5 years implementation, 2-year stock take. This is the first world stock take that supposedly the world's ever seen.
Wow. Now, didn't they want this to basically happen in 2020 and it just didn't happen the way that they wanted? Or was the 2030 plan?
2020 was the revealing of the Great Reset. It's a 10-year plan under the Sustainable Markets Initiative, or under King Charles, the Great Reset. And so that's a 10-year plan. And so we're 3 years into that. And now we're at the last 7 years of the Sustainable Markets Initiative plan. So, but the Sustainable Markets Initiative plan coincides with the global stock take as well.
Okay.
But the 7 years that we see coming, and so they're stating very clearly on their website, and also their Facebook website, COP28 UAE, that there's a 7-year sprint at the end of COP28, beginning December 12th.
Mm. Wow. So they're
So
really pushing for this. I mean,
yes, all countries
cylinders.
have pledged to support this deal.
Wow. Mm.
So
My
as
word.
of the last update I've seen, there's 123 countries that have pledged, so they have about 70 to go.
Okay. Okay, so of course they want all countries to be involved with this for this to be successful. And for those who do not come aboard and join this global climate deal, are they, I mean, what happens to those that do not hop aboard?
Well, their motto is "Leave no one behind," or "Leave no one left behind," and that's been a central theme of this since the Paris Climate Agreement of 2015.
So what do
So
they,
that
what do they mean
so
by?
they don't want, so Syria is on this on this deal, and the supposed state of Palestine is also in on this deal. So
Hmm.
under the umbrella of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Okay.
So they want everybody, including the Pope. So the Pope did his speech to COP28. King Charles did the opening to the speech. He was I believe the third speaker of COP28.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, leave no one behind. What do they mean by that?
All people have to join in under King Charles. So there's a document on Sustainable Markets Initiative. If you go to the website on, I believe it's sustainablemarketsinitiative.org or .com. One of them's got to be open. But anyways, there's five press releases. It's going to state right in there, and one of the press releases that all countries and corporations must follow the mandate under King Charles. It's right there on on his website, beginning January 1st.
Huh. So no wonder they don't want Trump.
Trump's against this thing. He would pull the USA out day one.
Right. Right.
So this is the whole reason that they're fighting so hard against Trump is because Trump is the one person that will stand up against this global climate deal,
Wow.
because he calls it out for what it is. It's global communism.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell
So
us.
they're stating on here the COP28 is a turning point in the global climate agenda. So this is a major deal. We go to the next slide.
Okay.
Whoops.
Hey, that's all right.
Still there?
Yes, we are. You're doing a great job, Greg. Absolutely.
I'm a little rough on this stuff.
No, you're
Share
doing good.
screen.
You're
I'm
doing
gonna here. So here's what they just announced today,
good. Okay.
and I'll probably have to. Is it up on your end?
Yes, it is.
7 years. So 7 years on. So we're 7 years into this climate agenda and 7 days in. So we're at the exact midpoint of
Wow.
of this Paris Climate Agreement, and they will confirm it on the 13th. It looks like to be on the 13th of December. It's going to be confirmed by King Charles, and that would be confirmed. Looks like via his Christmas address that he does in private, and that's under the divine right of kings. He can confirm a deal just through a speech.
Wow. I mean, this is shocking to me because who gives him the authority for the whole world?
Well, he believes he's in control of the whole world through the Terra Carta mandate, or through the Terra Carta seal, and then also the Astra Carta seal. So the Astra Carta puts him in charge of all the universe. The Terra Carta seal puts him in charge of all the Earth.
Wow.
And that seal you can just Google, and it's a green symbol. It tells, so when you read it, you got to you see the crown at the very top, and then you just say, so the crown represents King Charles, and then you just say King Charles, and then it reads the on top of the seal, it tells you his position. So he's positioning himself over all the earth and over all the universe.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, that does sound like the Antichrist, doesn't it?
That sounds like the Antichrist.
Now, is Russia and China in on this deal too?
Yes, Russia. In fact, that Vladimir Putin flew into Abu Dhabi the other day and was meeting with UAE on this deal. So they're definitely in on it. How far they'll submit to all the plan without lying to everybody else remains to be seen.
Right.
But
Right.
yes, all countries are in on this deal.
Mm.
And China led the way last year at COP15 in Montreal. So that they were supposedly in charge of the event in Canada. That was COP15 on biodiversity. So there you go. And if anybody would Google probably the Agenda 2030 or the SDGs combined with Russia, you would see how they're implementing the same plan. And it goes for Israel too. So Israel's really big on this, and they have a 429-page document they submitted to the UN years back, and that shows you how they're going to implement this plan once it's strengthened. So they're ready to implement this just as much as any other country.
Well, it just shows you where their mindset is in regards to humanity.
Well, he's going to unpack it and let us know
Yeah.
why it's such a bad deal.
Right.
Versus those who know nothing about it, virtually nothing about it. What would you say? What is this really? I mean, it looks good, but behind the scenes, what do they really want, Greg?
It is total and absolute control. And so actually, if you go to the COP28 icon, you will see in the center of the icon a symbol representing Mother Earth. To the right of the icon, you see the pale horse. Behind the icon, you see a rebuilt temple. And to the left of the temple, you have 6 bars. To the right of the temple, you have 6 bars. And within the temple, you have six bars. And so it reads actually 666. If you look way above, on top of the icon, you have the satellite that circles this icon, and that satellite has 6 squares, 6 squares, 6 squares. So this 666 is looking over what everybody is doing. It's total and absolute control through what's the word? through our technology.
Wow.
AI.
Wow, that's really scary. I mean, and from what I've seen too, he actually declares to be God. I mean, I know Thessalonians 2:4 talks about, they will say that they are, God, they will say that they are the anointed one, that they are God. That and he's said that. I mean, numerous
Well,
times.
on his royal family life, they actually edit the film for his coronation to make it look like King Charles it is God. So
Wow.
his coronation is edited in such a way that when they're doing the coronation, it appears that King Charles is God.
Yeah, it makes you wonder whether uh,
What band?
she knew the plan.
Who knew the
Yeah,
plan?
Diana knew the plan,
Oh,
and
yeah.
if that's maybe why they got rid of her. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, that's something we talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, she definitely knew at least a portion of the plan that he wanted to rule the world. So that's pretty definite.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, we'll let you go forward. It's just so fascinating. Sorry for interrupting.
This is the Book of Revelation.
Yeah, it is.
Can you see when I scroll down on this thing?
Yes, yes, sir.
So here we have, so here it states the COP28 halfway point, and then it has Dr. Al Jaber here clapping with all his sidekicks.
Mm.
So here we go. It says fast tracking the energy transition, slashing emissions. So that's our whole key, is to slash emissions by 43% by 2030. So that, and then right here it states, this is really interesting. The World Bank announced that it will support 15 countries with national programs to slash methane emissions of up to 10 million tons over the next 5 to 7 years from rice production, livestock, and waste. So rice is through the roof right now, and they want to slash 10 million tons from rice production.
Wow.
So here they go. They're going to destroy the rice, livestock, and waste.
Well, you know what,
So
Craig?
the waste is a good thing. I don't have a problem
Oh,
too
yeah,
much with it.
sure.
So we're all for that. But
Sure.
to control the food and cut livestock, we're definitely not for that. And it's also oil too. They'll cut oil, raise the prices.
But
So
you
I
know,
thought that was
Craig,
really interesting. They're stating next 5 to 7 years, and then there's exactly what they want to reduce.
wow. I mean, haven't they already like I've heard about cattle being burned and some cattle farms and plants and stuff like that where they were destroyed. So that to me looks like, yeah, they're already in the process.
Yeah, they're definitely in the process. Yeah, obviously, I think behind the scenes, it's obviously a satanic agenda.
Sure.
But and also here it states they're going to advance the energy transition through sustainable urban development, where we're recognized on 6th of September with the launches of the buildings and cement breakthroughs. So that what they're doing is they want buildings decarbonized, but by 2030. So it's another 7-year plan to decarbonize all buildings. And so you have to upgrade your building, or the government takes over your building. So that's a 7-year plan. This has already been being enacted in Europe, and actually in the state of Washington, all new construction has to be built for EV, so EV hookup. So they're not going to supply. They'll stop supplying power from dams and such beginning immediately.
Wow.
So this thing is absolutely horrible. I have not read this document, so I just downloaded it maybe an hour ago.
Wow.
Here,
Yeah.
here we are. Here we also go. The global cooling pledge launched together with UNEP was endorsed by 65 countries, and expand, and down here they want to phase out and expand access to sustainable cooling by 2030. So here we go, another 7-year plan. And then down below, 20 million people to access clean cooking in Eastern and Southern Africa by 2030. So this thing is just loaded with all kinds of 7-year documentation. And here we go again, scrolling down. This one's on transforming climate finance. So the rich countries pay for the poor countries for the next 7 years.
Wow.
I'm just looking at highlights.
Yeah,
So
sure.
here we go, 270 billion in forward-looking sustainable finance commitments by 2030. So another 7-year goal. So this thing is absolutely loaded.
Mm.
Here we have Mia Motley. She's the #1 pusher of the SDGs. She's the Prime Minister of Barbados. She's actually a good speaker. So a lot of these people are fairly good speakers, but if you listen to COP28 all day, you get bored to death. So here we go right here. Delivering commitments and ambition, opportunity for all, leaving no one behind. There's their theme right there.
Wow.
So this is all inclusive. Everybody has to get on board with the SDGs and Agenda 2030 or the Paris Climate Agreement, whatever you want to call it, for the next 7 years. And this thing takes effect January 1st. Here we go. United for Nature, Romans 1:22-25 tells you all about what their agenda is.
Mm.
And then they're focusing on nature. So nature's first, people second, lives third, and livelihoods fourth. So it's a Mother Earth worship. In fact, it states that right on their document. I don't have that documented up right now, but it states right there it's an implementation of on their 7-year covenant, which is the rough draft that is out right now. It states that this is for Mother Earth. So it's a deal for nature.
Right.
I can bring that up, but I want to get through this thing.
Yeah, sure.
So here we have focusing on nature, people, lives, and livelihoods. Anybody can locate this document. It's been posted on Facebook, COP28 UAE, today on 12/8. It was posted fairly early in the morning. So they're mobilizing for an inclusive COP that includes everybody, and so they're describing the many, which we see in Daniel 9:27. It's the youth, the private and public sector, women and children, et cetera, et cetera. They have a lot of sevens in this thing. So there's 70 million investment right here, and they had $777 million invested the other day. So they announced they had 777, and so it's kind of a play on words for a lot of Christians. They like the 777 flight number. So
sure. Let's well, but the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and deceive the people. And that's exactly what they're doing. It may look, oh, wow, this looks great. But in reality, it's depopulation.
Yeah, by 2050, zero emissions. Well, the only way you can have zero emissions is get rid of everything. So their plan is destroy everything. So this week they're having several important topics covered by the presidential action agenda, including youth and education, nature and ocean. So they want to control 30% of the ocean, 30% of land off limits by 2030. So and then they're going to reduction of food and water systems. So not all the water systems are bad. Israel leads the way on the water systems, controlling how much water like each plant gets and getting water from the air. That's called water gen. But they're behind King Charles, supporting King Charles as well. So, but anyways, it's complete control of water, food, nature and ocean, youth and education. So it's total brainwashing of your children.
Absolutely.
I would say if you have your children in public schools, it's get out.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So here's some of their quotes for their midweek. So Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, the science has spoken. So they believe in their Quasimodo, whatever you want to call it, science. It has confirmed that the moment is now to find a new road, a road wide enough for all of us. That sounds something religious, doesn't it?
Yes,
Narrow is the way, wide is the way, wide is the road to destruction. So
exactly.
they're saying this is a wide road enough for all of us,
Mm.
free of the obstacles and detours of the past. Almost want to laugh. The new road starts with a decision on the global stock take. That decision a decision that corrects course and accelerates action to 2030. So this is full throttle next 5 years. It's a 2-year plan plus 3-year plan plus 2 years assessment that begins December 12th. And this guy states, I don't want to butcher his name, COP28 has already produced more historic results than all COPs since Paris combined.
My gosh.
And within 20 minutes of your presidency, you have not only operationalized the loss and damage fund, but also capitalized by getting pledges. So there's an actual tree of life they've installed within the COP28 compound, and you go in and pledge your trillions of dollars to this climate fund. And it appears like 4 images that are bowing down to the tree of life. And I can't believe they even call this thing the tree of life. And it's like a hologram in the middle of this COP28.
Mm.
So they call this the COP of hope, but what we as Christians we have the blessed hope.
Yes.
Wow.
So very, very interesting to go through this document.
Sure. Yeah, they're mimicking everything. I mean, and then
It's like they have their own eschatology, and it mimics
right.
what the Bible is. Here we also have pledging to triple renewable energy capacity and double energy efficiency by 2030. So they know 2030 is the end. They refer to 2030 as Armageddon as of the UN General Assembly in 2022. And this is a big money grab to make tons of money before everything collapses.
Right. Right. So the Armageddon that they foresee, that basically the destruction.
Climate Armageddon.
And the destruction of we the people, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Oh,
So here we have that they want to continue to work hard and strengthen this area through international cooperation. So the December 12th is referred to within their agenda as strengthening of international cooperation day. And that's the day they plan to implement on the 8th anniversary of the Paris Climate Agreement, their 7-year plan. So it'll be done between midnight and 11 a.m. UAE time.
Right. So Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, this thing goes into effect. So the Bible says, so if you do a lot of research, this whole thing is full of talks of peace and security, this or peace and security that, and the Bible says when they shall say peace and security, then sudden destruction. So
Yeah.
I'm expecting a Tower of Babel moment here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I mean it's like 7 years of hell that they're planning here. And you know what I'm praying, and I believe that every believer needs to pray, because there is power in prayer, and time can change. God is the creator, not king demon. And you know that things can
Yeah,
truly
when the people
change.
stand up, I mean,
Yeah,
they
they
had
have to.
hundreds of thousands of people in Madrid the other day, protesting
Protesting.
against the socialism. I think in Nigeria, they burned some banks down because they wanted to do the digital currency. There are people waking up and protesting who actually see what's going on here. But it makes me wonder how many of these guys are Freemasons, you know?
I would say a majority of these leaders, if not all of them, are Freemasons. Obviously, some of the younger people are not, but their agenda has been pushed through every aspect of society, from your top government officials down to your city and local government, and your education system. So it goes right down to your local school teacher and your local guy working for practically any city. Here it says there's a consensus in the G20 that by 2030, that's 7 years away, several trillions will be needed for climate action. So the trillions at his disposal are actually, as of right now, 60 trillion according to the SMI under King Charles disposal.
My gosh. I mean, and that's so,
And they're trying to raise 4.5 trillion at this event.
wow. Oh my. I mean, and this whole climate, is such a farce.
Oh, but Greta Thunberg says it's a good.
Yeah, right.
The president of Brazil says, let us work constructively with all countries to pave the way between this COP28 and COP30. So COP30 is in Brazil, and that's a 2-year. There'll be a 3-year plan decided at Brazil. Next year is held in Australia. I'm not sure where, but it's supposed to be in Australia. There are not two planets on Earth. We are a single species called humanity. We all want to make the world capable of welcoming all its inhabitants with dignity and not just a privileged minority. So that's this guy's a major pusher of Agenda 2030, and we also know he's a crook.
All right.
Emmanuel Macron says we cannot separate biodiversity and climate. Nature is the best technology to capture and store CO2. We have technologies and innovations, but forest and nature are the best. So here we go, another worship of just worshiping Mother Earth. Romans 1:20, Romans 1:25. There is no 1.5 degrees Celsius without nature. I mean, this is just laughable. It is obvious that certain locations have heated up. I mean, where I live, we had 122 degrees a couple years ago, and it made all the apples on the trees. It turned them into applesauce.
Wow.
So, and then it was killing plants all over the place, and there's nothing you could do. But so it is happening. I think God's just turning up the notches, and in the tribulation, it says people will curse God because He turns up the heat. So we definitely see we're getting very close to this event. And they've said they've seen enough now of climate change that they need to act now. There's no more waiting, for there's 7 years left.
Oh my.
So there'll be this is very historic, very, very biblical, very prophetic, and what they're about to do.
And you have a list of prophecies that have actually manifested in regards to
King Charles.
wow.
So yeah, there's
some
about 35 prophecies to date that he fulfills. And it's going to vary from different prophecy watchers, obviously, but we all agree that there's 20 to 35 specific prophecies. But we have very, very interesting
comments, huh?
Yeah, so all this is just including everyone. This is the many speaking, that's according to them. So they're giving their view of what's happening. I mean, this thing's 45 pages.
Sure.
Anyways, here we go, another one. They also had a hologram opening at the opening. They had a hologram image of the president of UAE, the former the president of UAE, I believe. I couldn't believe what I was watching it in the opening ceremony. Here you have, like, this reminds me of what we see in with some of the paintings that we see in the Roman Catholicism.
Yes.
God touching man. So this thing's very pagan.
Very.
Yeah.
Oh, so demonic in every way.
But the tree of life is totally.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I couldn't believe that they put that on their Facebook page. Or no, it wasn't on Facebook. It was on. You had to download the app, the COP28 app, and that's where it was. It's now on their YouTube channel as well.
Wow. I mean, look at those numbers, huh?
So here's the numbers that they've committed so far. And so action builds hope, but action actually with the Bible, it's action is believe in the gospel, and that builds our hope. So it's called the blessed hope.
Right.
So it's just an anti-God agenda. I believe that's the end right there.
Wow.
So very, very interesting. I can go to this other document. I downloaded the draft for the 7-year covenant.
Sure.
So this is going to take me a minute.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I'd like for the people to understand that, I mean, a lot of this I mean, number one, let's you know, turn everything into electric cars, which we're finding that are catching fire and everything, you know, and I mean, I was talking to Alan a while ago. We need to get some horses, you know, because I mean, if they
Well,
start,
that's where they want to go. And when Armageddon happens, all these armies come in on horses. So what happened to all the cars that had gasoline and all the equipment that had gasoline? So it
right?
mentions all the people on horses.
Oh my
So
God, I want to
that's
be
it's like
with the white horse.
this thing's going to happen before 2030.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to be with the white horse. Come on, what you shoe coming on the white horse, kicking butt and taking names.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know? Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so much that oof, and we've been like the frog in the pot, actually. You know, some of the stuff has been, you know, stirring up and
So how are they going to enforce all this if people are turning against it or they don't want to go along with it? I mean, are they going to use the UN forces? I mean, what are
they're
they?
using the UN to do it, and they believe they have enough people in power that just like 2020 that they're just going to implement it from the top down. So it's complete and absolute control day one, whenever day one is. I don't know if it's the 12th or the 1st of January, but somewhere in there, they're gonna do their warlike footing on the people.
Hmm.
so I mean, really God is our only hope and to stop this or to delay it.
Yeah, and these guys are saying no more delay, and I mean it's pretty much for sure this is going to happen.
Mm,
If it gets delayed, I'll enjoy life for a little longer. So, but they've stated that their agenda, the window of opening was a very narrow window, and they stated that back in 2020. Klaus Schwab made the
oh
statement.
yes.
We have a narrow window of opportunity. Well, back in 2020, it's like how much is this window of opportunity? Is it 1 year or is it 3 years? And so we didn't know at that time, but they were presenting a 10-year plan, and now we're definitely in the last 7 years of that plan.
Mm,
Hmm.
wow.
So here's a 7-year covenant. This is the draft text for the 7-year covenant to be signed and confirmed December 12th and 13th. Now, I'm not going to go through it all. You have to. It's a lot of legal documentation.
Sure.
But right here, it says, noting the importance of ensuring the integrity of all ecosystems, including in forest, the ocean, and the cryosphere, and the protection of biodiversity, recognized by some cultures as Mother Earth. So I mean, they're stating right there, this is a Mother Earth document.
Right.
And then it's like 24 pages, and anybody can Google this thing and look it up. So you just type draft text on SB STA 59 agenda item 5, and that document will come up. This isn't the final document, so there's final negotiations that begin on the 10th. That's only 48 hours away.
Wow.
And then here, it's got 108 points. The last one says, invites parties and non-party stakeholders to submit so you have to submit to this plan by March 1st of 2024, information on their experience and lessons learned in conducting the first global stock take, and request the Secretariat to prepare a report on lessons learned from conducting the stock take in the areas for future work to be taken into account for the second global stock take, which is in 2028.
Mm,
So that's the beginning of the next stock take, and that's a 2-year process.
right.
So
Oh.
here we go. We have the 7-year covenant right in front of us, and pretty interesting.
Absolutely. So would you be able to share your thoughts in regards to like some of the prophecies actually, at least one or two of the prophecies that have you know, that have you know, put together that have come to pass?
Well, we have Romans 1:22 and 25 coming to pass before our eyes, the worship of nature rather than the creator. So that's one that's coming to pass right in front of our eyes.
Right.
We have Revelation 17:9 through 11, where it gives us a riddle of the kings. And it states that there's seven kings. Five have fallen, one is, and the one who is to come is an eighth king. So there's seven. So if you go to the list of the Holy Roman Empire, and there's seven kings that all have the same name, and the name is Charles. So and then if you go to the history of King Charles, it clearly states that he's descendant of the fifth king. And then the Bible says one is, so one reigns on the throne, the other seven are not. The other seven have ceased. And then the one who is to come is the eighth king. So if you type in King Charles, eighth king, the Holy Roman Empire, I believe you'll come up with there was a document already released within the UK that King Charles will be given the title of King Charles the Eighth of the Holy Roman Empire.
Wow.
So that's already being discussed at some level.
Isn't that something, didn't we once hear about the, what is it, the Balfour Declaration in regards to Israel and,
There's a clause, I don't know if it's a secret clause or it was revealed to us that there's a clause in the Balfour Declaration that says that they've reserved a chair or a position in Jerusalem for the English nobility, the English, in other words, the throne, the king
Right.
or queen. And this instance, I guess it's Charles.
right. Have you heard that before?
I have not heard that, but that King Charles was coronated as King of Israel behind the scenes at his coronation.
Wow, that makes sense then. There you go.
And then he was coronated with oil from the Mount of Olives, from his grandmother's grove
Oh,
on the Mount of Olives. So apparently the royal family owns a grove on the Mount of Olives.
boy, is this deep. Wow. Wow. Talk about living in biblical times, right?
Yeah, this thing, I can't even keep up anymore. It's like I need a break.
Yeah, right. I don't think you're
So
going to get one. I'm sorry, Greg.
so we're at if I believe if you Google what is a global stock take and how it is being done, it states that the strengthening of international cooperation occurs at COP28. So it gives a timeline. A lot of people thought this began in September, but that was the mobilization and adaptation. So it was phase 2 of this global stock take to prepare for the global stock take. The global stock take.
Well, so
There's
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
17 goals
Okay.
to the thing. So the first one is, I'm just going to state exactly what it is.
Okay.
So the first one is welfare dependence. The second one is GMO altercations. So well, we're already there.
Yes.
The third one is forced, you know what, in your body. In fact, I'm going to give a little personal experience. So last night I went through my vaccination records when I was a year and 2 years old. And I had severe vaccine reactions when I was a year or 2 years old, and my mom would state the reaction. So I was going through it with my wife, and it's like, man, they were killing me as a little kid. I can't believe I survived all that.
Wow.
And so this is what the agenda is, to vaccinate everybody in the whole world, and it's going to be enforced through good health and well-being, number 3 of the SDGs. And so what happened in 2020 was a preparation to get everybody in lockstep. If you go to the Rockefeller Foundation lockstep scenarios, it tells you there's a plan coming. Also, global straitjacket. There's a book written about it in 2010 that predicts that this would happen in the near future. And so this was a trial event to get everybody in lockstep to wear a mask and then eventually take the vaccine.
Wow. Oh my
So the
God.
fourth one is mass indoctrination through your education system. The fifth one is destroys the family. That's gender equality. The sixth one is water rationing. That's 30% of water will be rationed, at least. Maybe it'll probably be everything. So the 30% of your lakes will be off limits. 30% of your oceans will be off limits to save Mother Earth. The seventh one is smart grid surveillance, so that we see that in the icon of COP28, and with the six squares, six squares, six squares.
My gosh.
To the next one is no property rights, so that you own nothing and be happy. That's under decent work and economic growth. So they're telling everybody what's coming. Number 9 is slave labor, so everybody basically gets the same pay. Number 10 is reduced inequalities. That's we know that to be communism. Number 11 is sustainable cities. I live near one, so Seattle, so they're making it into sustainable cities. So you're going to be in prison.
So what does it look like?
So there's public transportation. You have to take public transportation. So they're taking out, they're expanding their public transportation and cutting the possibility of cutting the use of cars off the road is what they're doing. And then you can only leave 15 minutes from your house. So Seattle's not quite there yet, but they have a map for that. But Phoenix already has the first 15-minute neighborhood in the country.
So, I mean, is it going to be kind of like a concentration camp, or
it would be like it would be implemented under the next pandemic, which is probably, I don't know, a year or two away. We can all guess on that. It's not that far. In fact, somebody just messaged me today. It's like, come next Wednesday, the day after this global stock take, we have to start wearing masks again at work. It's like, good grief, here we go again.
Oh, wow. Well, I just heard in, oh my gosh, well, of course, China, the white lung pneumonia. And then now they're saying Massachusetts and Ohio are having all these upticks with white lung pneumonia. So, I mean, here you go. It's already starting.
Number 12, we have the responsible consumption and production. That's one world currency that should start to take effect January 1st under BRICS. So that remains to be seen.
Right.
13 is climate action. That's their symbol for this is the all-seeing eye. And so that's climate. It's energy rationing. So everybody's going to be rationed a certain amount of energy per day or per year or whatever they're going to do. The 14th goal is life below water, which controls wildlife. 15th goal is life on land, which controls your resources on land. Number 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. That's what they're working on right now in part, but at COP28. Peace and security is their theme for this whole COP28 event. And that'll bring about perpetual war that should start December 13th, I would assume. And December 17th, and the 17th goal is partnerships for the goals, and that's what they're doing. One world government begins at COP28.
Wow, I tell you, God is our only hope, of course, but there's been so much talk about Trump in the military, and this is either bull or it's really gonna happen.
Yeah, it's really going to happen. So we're going to know, the whole world's going to know by Monday or Tuesday if this thing's going to happen. And there's an Institute for Sustainable Development that's going to announce on the 11th that the time of the signing of the deal and the time for confirming the covenant. So that this will be announced globally 24 hours in advance.
Now, was there a representative from the United States there?
Yes, John Kerry.
John Kerry, that's right.
John Kerry's your.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
that's right. Your culprit.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Al Gore's back there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Al Gore. I saw Al Gore at the event too, so he's
really
there. Yeah. So, and he gets angry when he talks about this stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. What would you say? I mean, for those that are listening right now, I mean, there's got to be hope out there. I mean, God is our hope. I mean, if you're not saved, number one, receive.
The number one is you got to choose. There's going to be a decision here really quick in the next within the next 3.5 years. You either choose Christ or you choose the Antichrist. That's what it's boiling down to.
Right, right.
So now is the time to choose Christ and pray that you escape everything that's going to come to pass. Luke 21, verse 36.
Yes, amen, amen to that. And and prayer really does change things. If this could be delayed, pushed back, or whatever, because I still think about, the Bible talks about the wealth of the wicked has been laid up for the righteous, and how much could we, God's remnant do right now, for those coming in. How much could we do with that? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's still like a lot of questions that need to be
Well,
answered.
and obviously not everybody likes King Charles, so
Right.
there's going
No,
to be
I mean, his own people hate him.
right.
So I mean, that's been common knowledge for forever. So, I think the Diana fiasco is what just did it in for King Charles. But the world elites absolutely love King Charles.
Wow. Because they agree with his agenda. Let's just like the Hitler,
He's been pushing this agenda for over 50 years, and he sends out what's called spider letters or secret letters, and the spider letters are actually connected to Baal worship. So that term spider letters is actually connected to that. And there's a symbol, I believe it's in 1860 something or other, 1863 or something, Baal, and it pictures a Baal object with the spider legs, or referring to the spider letters. It has the seal that of a cat on his right shoulder, and on the left a frog. So King Charles, you can Google, or Prince Charles, was known as the Frog Prince, and his seal before he was coronated was that of a cat.
Oh, isn't that
It's all there, so it's Baal worship.
wow,
Wow.
definitely.
In fact, the image looks like King Charles. I can't believe somebody came up with this image in 1800s, and it looks it's almost a smitten image of King Charles. Almost
Wow,
said King Arthur.
almost prophetically, like how that maybe someone saw it and boom, there you go, saw in the future,
Yeah. Yeah. How are they going to get rid of about 7 billion people? I mean, they only want 500 million people left on the earth. So how they plan on doing it, Craig?
Klaus Schwab stated there's going to be wars that are here and there, and they'll control the food. So we will own nothing and be happy is pretty much their agenda. And if you can't pay for all this stuff, you're just going to be ostracized from society. Adios, usted is basically where it's going to end up at.
Wow.
Well, like a leper, like leprosy colonies.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is what's coming, and you should be. It would be. See, I have access to the Lebanese news and Palestinian news, and they believe that World War III is at the cusp. That's going to happen anytime, and they also believe that Damascus is about to be hit. And so this prophecy of Damascus could actually happen within a week, hypothetically. And once this agreement is signed into place, and then you have Hezbollah, Hamas, and whoever else wants to join in that begins their big war. That Hamas and Hezbollah are stating that this next war with Israel is going to be bigger than October 7th. So there's something coming. They're not saying when. This would be a surprise deal, and they want, as soon as this global stock take is complete, Israel signs on, they plan to attack.
Wow.
I know Turkey's been talking about aligning with them.
Yeah, Turkey's. I mean, Russia's been moving equipment, so we also have the Ezekiel 38 war not too far in the future as well. So I don't think it happens next week,
Right.
but it's definitely building very fast.
Wow. Just like what Alan said in regards to Spain protesting in France and a lot of these countries just rising up against their government. I'm just really like, I can't believe that America hasn't like joined forces, you know, to
It's like
protest.
people are zombies.
Yeah,
They
This- the whole world's asleep. And then
right.
they're doing this when the USA, everybody's in the USA is sleeping,
Yeah,
literally sleeping.
you're
And so
right.
across the world, they're preparing to suck everybody into this global agenda. And the Americans are sound asleep. It's not on your news sources. You'll hear a
Wow.
little bit mentioned on Fox. You'll hear a little bit on you'll hear a whole lot on fake news CNN, but it's not really being publicized. You have to get the acts. You have to search for the documents. You have to search for the news. And so I've been doing this for 30 some years, so I've known the covenant that would be confirmed would likely be Agenda 21, which transformed to the Millennium Development Goals. So it's a 1,000-year plan,
Right.
and then switched to Agenda 2030, the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015. And since 2015, they've been counting down to the 7-year covenant every single year, telling you exactly how much they have left. And so now they're down to the day, and they're telling you December 12th is their strengthening of international cooperation. So that with the many, so they describe on their YouTube channels who the many are. And I've described that as your public and private sector. Are you
Mhm.
there?
Yes.
So the public and private sector, your indigenous people groups, your women and children, and so on.
Mm, wow.
So when the Bible says he shall confirm a covenant with many, that word also means populace. So he shall confirm a covenant with the populace or with everyone, which is synonymous with the populace, and then he'll break it 3.5 years later with Israel alone. So, but Israel right now is in the lead at COP28 with 1,000 delegates, supposedly to transform our world to 2030.
Wow.
So Israel is the number one pusher of the Antichrist agenda.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
saw a picture of that in 2020, 2021, 2022. You didn't want to go to Israel.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
everybody's going.
Right, right. I mean, that was his agenda. He basically said it, you know, and plain sight that, yeah, but we jabbed all of our people. You know, it was an
Where
experiment.
is the church and all? I mean, the church has been asleep. People are just like, some people they don't get it. They're just like, oh, well, church is normal, you know, just going along. And, you know, where's the relevancy of the power? I mean, the Pope is on board with this too, isn't he?
Right.
And the World Council of Churches is on board. So if your church is part of the World Council of Churches, I'd say get out.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, no joke. Wow. Wow.
Well, the Bible tells us all this would happen. You know, those the apostasy churches
Right.
and
I mean, this is revelation. I mean, straight up.
And well, this is Laodicean churches sounded they just don't have the eyes to see anything.
Right.
So the Bible, Jesus tells the Laodiceans that he would hope that he would give them salve so they could open their eyes. And in Laodicea was known for their salve that they produced, but they refused. They're so spiritually blind they can't see what's right in front of them.
Right, exactly.
now, do you have any idea at all what Obama's role would be in this?
Obama's role goes back to 2015. He's the one that brought the USA into the Paris Climate Agreement. And then we kind of can guess that he's the earpiece and Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe.
Right.
Yes,
So
exactly.
he's the earpiece behind all this. And he actually did a speech, I believe, at the UN and stated that there's trouble ahead. So he's telling us tribulation is ahead. That the UN at the UN one of the opening ceremonies, they said the next 7 years will be tribulation to their utopia, which is 2030. So they're stating very clearly that tribulation is just ahead, but they're not stating what it's all about. But it's total and absolute control of every single person on Earth.
My gosh.
And they're going to use some of that AI technology to spy on people.
Yeah, it's all AI technology to spy on everybody. Basically satellite technology, cameras, your
Drones.
cell phone, whatever, to spy on you. Probably your iFiber too, or whatever everybody's
Right.
hooking up to nowadays.
Right.
Exercise your Second Amendment right here in this country. If you buy anything with a credit card, anything other than cash, they track everything.
Right.
So if they want to collect, your self-defense
Right.
forces are going to come into your house and just take them.
Right. Yeah.
And that's already happening in some parts of the US. So we see a little, like, I think New Mexico, they're already going against
That's right. Yeah.
your weapons. And so it's happening.
Wow.
But it's like a frog being boiled in a pot. It's just little by little
Yep.
until all of a sudden you're trapped and can't get out.
Right.
Right.
Right. Wow. I mean, so what would you say to the people then?
Look up for our redemption draws near. That's the best thing to say.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to hearing. We'll probably see a lot, but hearing more from you in the upcoming days of the information that you're getting.
It'll be upcoming hours.
Yes. Right. Right. Wow. Well, tell the people where they can find you.
I'm on Craig Bong at Facebook, Craig Bong 1573 YouTube, and those are just mostly short little 90-second videos. So you can run through the whole thing in about 2 hours.
Okay.
And I'm on Telegram, End Time Signs, but Telegram's hard to, it's not very user friendly, so hard to find.
Okay.
And I don't have the link readily available. But anyways, and Rapture Watchers, all caps, in Facebook. So that's where the most of my material is posted to Rapture Watchers, and all my highlights, best stuff I post on my personal page.
Okay. Craig Bong.
Yep, Bong, like a bing bang bong, or
Yeah.
whatever else you can think of.
I know. I'm sorry. My mind went to those days of the Jesus movement and
Before she knew Jesus.
yeah, before I knew, but I never used a bong. Okay, and I'm not being like a Clinton or whoever said that. I never, but that's what I went to. Bong. Okay, I'll remember that. But then I thought of James Bond, but it's Craig.
My sister often said I should be an FBI agent.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh, you have the intense
Private
research.
investigator.
Right, exactly.
Wow. We're so thankful that you've done all this research for the people. You've been like how many years? 35 years? What?
I've been doing it. Well, I did it in 1992, 91, 92 is when I started. And then I didn't do anything for 6 years until basically it was in the late 90s, in 2000, and then I started doing a little bit of research, but I didn't know anything back then until 2005. I finally hit the nail on the head and knew what to research.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for being with us on Upfront in the Prophetic. We'll have to have you on again. We want to thank our listeners, our audience, our family. God bless you. There is hope. Start warring and praying. Okay, guys? Woohoo! I'm believing in it. All right. God bless you, everyone. Take care.